Welcome to our first inaugural Amazon quarterly update. The idea with this quarterly update is that every quarter we bring you up to date with the latest Amazon news, both from the previous quarter and a little preview of what is going to happen in the next quarter. As ever, I am joined by my partner in crime, Tom, who is going to keep me sane, keep us all sane during this presentation. So just first, a little bit about us. We are an Amazon specialist agency. Amazon is all we do. We have 15 years of experience selling on Amazon. I used to run my own Amazon business, which turned over about $5 million a year. What we do is we offer a full account management service. So we really just take over the whole of Amazon for you, so you don't have to worry about it anymore. You don't have to worry about all those exciting interactions with Amazon support and frustrations of getting accounts opened and products live and stuff like that. We do it all for you, and we grow people's sales, and we like to think we're pretty good at it. Another thing that we are very keen on is cross-border trade. So we're all about expanding our sales in the domestically and internationally. There's if you want to check us out, there's our website, or you can email me at trevor@fendlab.com. So big news recently was Prime Day 2025, which was a record breaker. It was a 4-day event, so it was the longest Prime ever. Here are some figures from the sales. I've only got the US ones, but it was 24.1 billion. That's nearly a third up year on year. That's like 2 Black Fridays. So that was 2 of the busiest days ever over 4 days. The first day was 8 billion, which was up 10%. I think that sales shows that rail sales ramp up over the sales period. It works really, really well, I think, for discounts. That's why people expect discounts, and as you can see, there 25% of products were discounted, and there was an increase of best part of 10% year on year on that. So to perform, you need to think about your pricing. A lot of categories did well. Here's some examples that do really well. Electronics, beauty, home fitness, went up by a factor of 3 to 4. Smartphones didn't do so well. So what are the take homes from this? I think that if you're not taking part in Prime Day, you really need to get involved next year. It's a big sales opportunity. People save. People go onto Amazon in huge quantities on those days, expecting offers. Put it in your promotional calendar and plan for it well in advance. Tom, have you got anything to add?
Yeah, I'd add to that. We saw a mixed reaction to Prime Day across our clients, and some weren't promoting. And quite often over, say, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, you can not promote and see a really good sales uplift. That didn't happen. We only saw the sales uplift on people who were promoting. So, it's really, you can't expect that free traffic. And I think people are looking for a promotion. I think it's also a time of year when people aren't desperate to buy. Over Black Friday, Cyber Monday, people are in a panic buying mode, which they're not really in July. They're looking for bargains. So you need to give them a bargain.
So really it's about discounting. The people who do well are the people who discount.
Yeah, I think that'll be a different picture when we come through to Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Okay, so Project Bend the Curve. Amazon used to have a fantastic customer perception for having the best catalog, and that has dropped quite considerably over 2 years. I'm not quite sure why it's dropped. I don't think there's particularly strong explanations for it. Maybe other people are getting better, but it is true that there's an awful lot of poor listings on Amazon, and ones that get almost no traffic, almost no sales, and that are very badly put together. So Amazon has done something of a clear out. It's purged. How many billion listings is that? That's an awful lot of listings.
That's like 24 billion listings. That's a lot of billions.
An inconceivable amount of listings have been reduced, and they're also throttling back seller accounts from adding new listings. So that's worth bearing in mind. I mean, what we haven't seen proper kind of products with from good brands from proper companies are not being affected. This does feel like it's the people who are not taking Amazon as seriously as Amazon would like it. So the message here is that Amazon is getting serious about listing quality. It doesn't want those poor listings. You've seen the ones with almost no bullet points, with one bad picture, and you're kind of thinking, is this a scam or not? So they're getting rid of all of those. It generates a saving for them because each listing they have to pay to maintain it. And yeah, so make sure that your listings are good enough. If you've got those kind of listings, if you haven't got the bullets, if you haven't got the the A+ content, if you haven't got the good pictures, you might have your listings purged. So just be aware of that. And
Yeah, I
if
think
you yourself have a lot,
no, I was going to say, I'm probably going to just copy what you said, but I think that when there are sellers out there that will have tens of thousands of listings because they're selling, T-shirts with lots and lots of different designs on them and things like that. And I think in the past, when there were fewer rules on these things, Amazon was okay with people just listing an unlimited amount of stuff. And they're clearly they don't want people with huge catalogs which just don't perform. And I think as long as you're not one of these people, you're probably okay. But it's just a reminder that you need to have good quality listings, to keep ahead of these problems. Like Sun Tzu said, there's someone's already won and someone's already lost. And in order, I know the in order to
5 minute all it took you to lots of walkway.
just the quality comments keep on coming. You need to these things are like a ticking time bomb. If you have problems with your account, you need to address them before they become problems, whether that is having a lot of poor quality listings, whether that's having listings of which you really which break some sort of rule or other. You will get caught up with eventually, and when it happens, you could get in really big trouble, and it's much easier to fix these things beforehand.
100% agree.
Which brings us neatly onto the next slide, which is policy and compliance changes. Now, I won't get too deeply into this, but just to say that there have been some updates recently. The two interesting ones I found were if they require products to be certified by certified labs, so you can't just have anyone doing it anymore. And so I think, and also the food and safety violations are now showing in your account health dashboard, and these kind of account violations or product violations can be pretty serious for your account. So I think the message here really is you need to double down on compliance, make sure your products are, I'm sure you all have compliant products, but make sure that you're getting them, getting your documentation as good as it can be, and monitor your account health on a weekly basis to make sure there aren't any problems. With Amazon, it's not just the initial problem, but it can also be the fact that you didn't answer their response to a problem. And I've had more problems with not responding to things that they wanted me to respond things than actually the original problem. So stay on top of product compliance and just compliance in general, your account health. Right. Next, just some fee updates. In the US, they've changed the box sizes. So this is for FBA, you can send a box which is got the size of box you can send has gone up from 25 to 36 inches, which is nice. It means you can send more in. Also, check if you use MCF in the UK, there's been minor revisions to MCF fee, as in multi-channel fulfillment fees. And also, there's been some reasonably big changes to how deals and promotions are charged. So, again, take time to review the different fees that you're being charged. It's very easy to, for changes to be made in the system and you not to be on top of them, or indeed, being charged money for things that you were different from what you thought. So, for example, if you've got a product and it's being sent by FBA, it's a different size to what you thought it was. What you could be charged could be different. So good time to have an audit, look at some orders and see, am I actually being charged what I think I'm being charged here?
I'd 100% agree. We had a client recently where Amazon was charging just random numbers for the FBA charges. So it's very easy to, download the fee report that tells you what the FBA charge should be and compare it to the transaction level charges that are coming through. If you have any issues doing that, give us a call. But we're able to claim back hundreds of pounds from for this particular client. And interestingly, having done that, Amazon have been squeaky clean. We now check every month, and haven't had any issues since then.
Yeah, I
So
think their
just
systems are far less good than they make out. I mean, they're held
uh,
together with sticky tape in the background.
yeah,
Uh, so yeah, remember that.
yeah.
Um, right, Tom, what do you think
Right,
about
Ireland.
Ireland?
So you can now do remote FBA between the UK and Ireland. I'm not quite sure why Amazon didn't start off with this, except maybe I think they probably rushed out the whole Ireland launch. They launched it for Paddy's Day earlier this year, and there are all sorts of things that weren't working properly at that point. So now there's no need to carry separate Irish inventory. There is a catch, of course, there's a catch, and Brexit is, as usual, the catch. So obviously, Ireland are in the EU, we're not in the UK, and there is this €150 charge rule. So for essentially, you can't sell products by remote FBA that cost more than €150 in Ireland. Just can't do it. If you're struggling with this, you can either drop your prices or not do it. Those are fundamentally your choices. Um, Ireland is growing as a market for Amazon. A number of our clients are live on Amazon Ireland. It's not huge, it's new, uh, but it's certainly worth being there. And a lot of your UK volume, probably 5 to 10% of your UK volume, has historically been Irish buyers, and that will over time move over to Amazon Ireland. So worth getting on board with it. It is a good opportunity to grow sales. And if you are a UK seller, remote fulfillment is almost a no-brainer. You can just replicate your listings in Ireland and make sure they're active. Easy to do.
Uh, I think, I
So
mean, look, remote
yeah,
fulfillment is good idea across the board in the EU. I mean, because it's just to tell people what it is. What it means is that Amazon will ship from your UK-based inventory over to countries in the EU, France, Italy, Germany, Spain, and now Ireland. So you can, it's just incremental sales from stock you've already got. I mean, unless there's some particular reason why you don't want to ship into the EU, it's a total no-brainer. We recommend using it as a stepping stone into pan-European FBA. If you see that, because pan-European FBA, great opportunity, great service, bit of a pain in the ass because you have to have stock in, instead of having one stock, pool of stock, you need to have two, and you need to manage sending the stock into the EU. There's ways of doing this
you need
more
that
easily.
registration.
All of that stuff, all of that lovely stuff. So it's a great way to start your European sales. And the downside is that Amazon will charge more for shipping than you will charge, and the products will be more expensive, and therefore your sales will be less. So if you see it, establish that there's dip your toe in the water with Pan European FBA. If that works for you, then consider. Oh, sorry, dip your toe in the water with remote fulfillment, and if that works for you, Pan European FBA is the next step.
Yeah. Just a quick note, there are newish GSPR regulations in Europe. Your products need to have an EU address, an EU responsible person. So Amazon will ask you for all this stuff. So make sure you're compliant. It doesn't take a huge amount of work, but there is a little bit of work to do there. So just make sure you're on top of that before you start shipping stuff willy-nilly. Okay, I think
Tom,
that's Ireland done.
advertising.
Advertising. Yeah, a couple of welcome changes actually for Amazon advertising. I mean, I think those of us who use Amazon advertising regularly feel that it lags quite a long way behind Google ads, which, just seem to be slicker, cleverer, easier to use. Amazon have made a couple of changes. So the first one is they're now you're able to target B2B customers, which for some clients more than others is, a very useful thing to do. Um, and the other one that applies to everyone is there's just been some improvements to the ad console, campaign manager. You can now see all of your countries in one place, which is nice. This might confuse you first time you look at it. You think, how can I change country? There is you can click on the portfolios and there's a country portfolio that allows you to change in between. So that means that you can look at all of your countries in one currency, which wasn't available before. And it just for once makes life slightly easier. So well done, Amazon.
Does it actually work? The thing is, does it produce the right figures
It actually
and stuff like
works.
that?
Yes. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
There isn't a
No,
downside to it.
it's something which threatens to work and actually works, as opposed to threatens to work and then doesn't actually work.
Only cynic you.
Well, there's so many times I think if that actually worked, it would be good, but it doesn't work. So the figures are all wrong, and therefore it doesn't work, and therefore I can't use it. Um,
Yeah, no,
okay.
the figures would appear to be correct. Just make sure you are aware of which currency you can change the currency. But that's caught me out when I was looking at stuff in yen, and I thought, have we spent that much? We hadn't. It was
That must have been quite. You must have realised that quite quickly because it's a factor of 100.
in about 2 seconds, but there was
Yeah,
that two
yeah, yeah.
second
Should be quite. Should be quite. It's not like euros. Amazon Business. I mean, Amazon Business. I mean, most of our clients aren't business focused because they're doing consumer goods. So we don't. But they all, everyone who signs up to Amazon Business, we'll see a few percentage of extra sale for Amazon Business. There's some, business clients which will, business people who want to go on and, get the features that Amazon Business provides. For example, the ability to get invoicing directly from the system. So just some points about Amazon Business. It's recently launched in Australia. Again, if you're in Australia, you might as well sign up for it. It's now got 8 million global customers. Um, if you're selling on Amazon, it's a free program to sign up for. Some companies do really, really well out of it, business focused stuff. I mean, imagine if your company sells paper or something, you'd probably get a large percentage of your customers will be business customers, even if you're not a business focused company. And we've got a client that sells baby products. And I don't think many, well, I don't know, could be nurseries and stuff might buy them. Even though they see a few percentage extra, and every little helps. But like, if you're selling on Ireland, an extra few percent. If you're doing Amazon Business, an extra few percent. It all. Before you know it, you're selling quite a lot more. And if you start selling in France, Italy, Germany, Spain, before you know it, you've doubled your business. So if you're not doing Amazon Business, I personally think it's a total no-brainer. Why not? It take no
it,
10
it'll,
minutes.
it'll take you 5 minutes. There's two key steps. Give a discount for multi-buys. It might be only 5% if people buy 2 or 3 products, and enable invoicing by Amazon. So it's just a few clicks.
Third step, you need a pricing rule to mirror your. Set a pricing rule to mirror your consumer price to your business price. You need to set a business price.
Yeah.
Is it me or you? I think it's me, isn't it?
Yeah,
okay, right. Okay, big change. Pre-launch Amazon Vine reviews. Okay, so if you are, if you launch new products on Amazon, it's really, really important to get those early reviews. Reviews are a major factor going into Amazon search. So if you start with a product which has 0 reviews, it's right down the bottom of the search. The way that products get to the top of the search is by getting a rate of sale and getting reviews and getting sales history. And Amazon Vine, which is a program where you send a number of products into FBA, you enroll them in Amazon Vine, you pay Amazon some money, you give some free products to, they call the Vine Voices, which is the people that do reviews, and they're proven to do considerate reviews. And you'll give away 30 products, and you'll probably get 25 reviews or something like that. So this previously you had to launch the product and start selling it. Now you can do it before that stage. So that'll help your conversion rate, because products with 10, 20 reviews get much higher conversion rate, and help your search ranking from the off. Obviously it's easier. Two things with Vine: it has to be FBA. It said it used to be like that. I'm sure it still is. Has to be FBA. Obviously, if your products are cheap, it's going to be, if they're £100 each, it's going to be more expensive than if they're £10 each. So that can be a bit of a problem. But yes, anyway, I think that's a big win, and that's good for sellers. Secondly, also Amazon is forever rolling out AI tools, and recently they've launched the Enhance My Listing AI tool, which auto generates titles and bullets and backend keywords, etc., which we found to be quite useful. So check it out. Tom, have you got any comments on that?
And well, don't just check it out. look very carefully at what they've done. It works, but like everything that's AI, there's going to be things that you disagree with. I mean, Amazon has been applying AI to products and picking up issues for probably the last 6-9 months, certainly since about Christmas time last year. They've been reviewing all listings and suggesting changes, and some of those have been good and some have been less good. So just have a look, give
Yeah,
it a go.
don't use uncritically. Don't use uncritically.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Right,
Okay.
Tom. But now we've
So
closed
lastly-
Q3. What's going to happen in Q4?
Well, Q4 for most of our clients, and probably most of anyone listening to this, is their biggest quarter of the year. So it can often make or break your year. So how do you plan for it? And it's obviously worth thinking about it now. So just a few things to think about. Are your listings optimized? What we just talked about, enhance my listing, the AI kind of help that you can get. But if there's ever a time to make sure your listings are as good as they could be, it's now. Think carefully about what promotions and deals you're going to run. Even if Amazon doesn't offer you deals on your products, you can run your own promotions. Think about whether you want to advertise at the same time. You certainly get much better results if you advertise at the same time, but can you afford it? Think about your financials when you're looking into this. Ad strategy, what are you going to do? Generally, cost per click goes up over key periods. So think about how you're going to increase your ad spend, your cost per click. Make sure you have a plan in advance. One thing we haven't said is think about where your stock is. So if you use FBA, get ready to send stock up early. Really key. Amazon gets really busy over those periods, and you'll find it harder shipping in stuff. If you ship in singles, it becomes much harder to ship singles in before Christmas. Cases always work better. If you've got things like electricals and batteries, they're hard to get in. And you might also run short of space. So think about what space you're going to need at Amazon and put in your appeals for more space early. And then, from an internal point of view, customer service, refunds, make sure you're going to have the people available to deal with all this stuff, because if you're selling a lot more, you will have a lot more coming back. So make sure you're ready for it. So yeah, really think ahead. It's a once a year opportunity to impact your sales and make the most of it. Anything to add, Trevor?
Excellent. Yes, no, I think that covers it all. I think the only thing is that, cost per click goes up, but then conversion rate also goes up as well. So
It does. Yeah, you see that across the board. Even if you're not promoting and advertising, your conversion rate will go up as people are desperate to buy presents. They've got to get something for a.
got to keep the economy going. Got to keep consuming, haven't we? Okay, great. Well, that's thank you for listening to our update. We'll be doing another one in about October in preparation for Q4. I can't immediately see any questions. If you think of anything after we've gone live, then please drop us an email. And anyway, thank you for your time. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Free audio post-production by Alphonic.com.